Alright everybody, it is Dan from dansfish.com, your friendly fishmonger, and today I've got, I think let's call it a special treat. We're gonna go look at an aquaponics system that one of my fellow fish geeks here in Sheridan, Wyoming has. He has this greenhouse and he has a bunch of tilapia in there powering a grow bed, which is all done in this kind of compact system that takes very little money to run. It's a neat setup he has. So anyway, we're gonna go look at his setup and I hope you enjoy. So I just pulled up at Pistol's place, and you know you're at a fish keeper's house when you see this, when you pull up to the yard. Doing a change on his pond.
Yeah.
So here's the man himself. Hey Pistol.
Good morning.
So everybody,
afternoon, I guess.
Yeah, I got a late start. I'm on theater time. I don't get up super early. So everyone, this is Pistol Abbott. Pistol like the gun, Abbott like the monk.
With cookies.
And he's gonna show us around. So yeah. So doing a little maintenance on the pond here, and here's some of the fish we caught out of it while we were doing that. Some goldfish, some cool koi. For all you koi connoisseurs, goldfish connoisseurs, carp, you carp people. That stuff on the top, those are elm seed casings. The elms in the last couple weeks in this neighborhood have just let loose, and it's like snow all over the ground. It's elm seeds everywhere. All right, so we're about to see Pistol's tilapia setup. So here we go. Pistol, tell us what we're about to see here.
All right, so I've got a 10 by 12 Harbor Freight greenhouse.
There it is.
Yeah. We've got, my end goal is to go off-grid, so I've started venturing in with solar. We've got the solar heater here, which relies on...
Tell us about this. So you made this sucker, right?
Yeah. It's not as pretty as it was when I started it, but it's an insulated wood box. I insulated it with foam. There's 40 feet of dryer hose snaked in there.
It's all black, yeah.
Yep, painted it black, which eats the foam, by the way, if you ever build your own.
Oh.
It pulls in floor temperature air from the greenhouse and then pulls it back in and pumps it back here. There is a small solar powered fan from an RV. They're like 30 bucks on eBay. That it actually kind of puts a suction on the thing to help move that hot air in. But at 30 degrees ambient, I was still pulling 120 to 130 degree air coming in.
In the winter?
In the winter. Yeah,
and so for those that don't know about Wyoming winters, it can get down to like -30 here.
Pretty easy.
No problem.
Yeah, two big stretches of that.
So this thing didn't freeze in the winter?
No, it did not.
And it was all heated by this sucker?
Yes. I did, when I was out here working, like in the evenings, I would kick on a propane heater to knock the chill off
for you.
Bit,
yeah.
But that was it. I've got a lot of barrels, plastic barrels, and one metal barrel painted black, filled with water. So they, in the winter, when the sun is low, it shines on the barrels and heats them. And then during the summer, it's high enough that my insulation for the whole north end of the greenhouse actually shades the barrels so they absorb heat out of the greenhouse. Oh,
cool.
And then they kind of release it at night. You know, they act like a battery.
Yeah. So that's awesome. So in Wyoming, in the winter, you can heat a greenhouse for like, what, under 100 bucks?
Yeah, I think I had maybe $50 in this.
That's awesome.
The window was free.
Yeah.
It was from an apartment that was being remodeled. I don't know what happened with the glass. The inner pane broke. It was a sealed pane window.
Yeah.
Not necessary. A lot of people build these with just a sheet of plexiglass over them. As long as it's sealed so that you don't have fog starting in there.
Yeah.
I've never had it fog up, so.
I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but it's got this cool purple haze thing on it that reminds me of like a Grateful Dead cover.
So you can see it better from that angle.
Let's see. I don't know if it'll show up, but anyway, I don't know if y'all can see it, but we're doing our best. It'll show up or it won't. So let's go on inside. Tell us.
Good.
Walk us through what you got here.
All right. So this is called a chop system. Chop is real common build.
I can smell the onions and garlic or whatever you're growing.
Absolutely. Onion, these are Egyptian walking onions. These are just big white and red onions. This has been in here 2 days. You just set a whole onion on
and
there.
it's starting to sprout.
And it'll start on its own.
So it's kind of an aquaponics system you got going.
Well,
is that right?
Yeah,
Oh,
this
cool.
is aquaponics because it uses aquaculture with the fish. I've got somewhere around 30 to 40 tilapia and a bunch of goldfish in there.
Cool.
Goldfish were actually seeders to get the system sort of healthy enough so that it was cheap to kill them if they died. But once they got the system healthy enough, I brought in the white Nile tilapia, and they are constantly getting fed water. CHOP stands for constant height over pump, I believe, or one pump. There we go, constant height, one pump. So I've got a Jacquard 4000 pump that sits down here, variable drive, basically. I'm running 10 watts through it, very, very limited power. So it constantly pushes water up here. This is a swirl filter that I built out of a barrel that somebody else had chopped the bottom out of. And it just constantly flows out of there, particulate filtered and slightly biofiltered into here. And always overflows out of here into the grow bed. The grow bed is somewhere around 15, 16 inches deep. Kind of a blend of expanded clay.
Yeah, and is that pumice?
Lava rock, there's a little bit of pumice that I threw in there too. The expanded clay and I can't remember, Volco-Grow or whatever they call it, is really the preferred because it's nice and smooth. It's very porous. If you don't have enough in your grow bed, it'll actually all float like pumice does.
Oh, right.
But
so
I blended some.
Is that something you can source at your local Home Depot, or is that like an online purchase?
You can order it at HomeDepot.com.
Oh, okay.
They don't have it locally here.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so Home Depot, we want a kickback.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they got the wood, the rock, everything. Well, some of the seeds too.
Well, here in Sheridan, we pretty much, our only big box hardware store or whatever is Home Depot.
Yeah.
So that's why we talk about it. But I imagine Kohl's or whatever might have it too. Is it Kohl's or is that a clothing store? No, I don't even know.
Kohl's, yeah, I think that's a hardware store. Like
okay, good. So something just kicked on.
Yeah, this is the drain portion happening right now. It's a 2-inch drain that comes out of the grow bed through a bell siphon.
So all this water that's draining out, it's draining out at a good clip, is being released from in here?
Yes.
Oh, so it gets to a certain level and a pump kicks on or something?
Nope, there's only one pump. It gets to a certain level, and this bell siphon starts its own siphon from the water level being high.
And so takes it all out.
There is a 2-inch pipe through the bottom that is sealed with a bulkhead fitting. And that stands up. The height of it is where the water level max reaches in here. And relying on the double method, I guess, I've got a 2-inch standpipe, so I've got a 4-inch bell siphon, and then an 8-inch gravel guard to keep the gravel from getting in against it.
Yeah.
And there is also, if you look in here, I used a flat cap instead of an arched cap on the 4-inch bell. There is a 1/2-inch 90 glued in the side of it that just sticks in a little bit inside the cap. When the water level gets low enough, it actually sucks air in through the 1/2-inch and breaks the siphon.
Oh yeah, I see it. So it's about to break now.
So yeah, it's getting close.
Yeah, it's like those, forever siphons we put on aquariums, but just bigger and different. So the break is this sucker.
Yep. And it pulls air in the bottom as well. There's some cuts in the bottom of the 4-inch.
Oh man, so I see you drilled all these seams in here. So that the water can drain from the bed into here, it gets to a certain level, self-siphons down into that.
Yep,
and then the pump takes it up there.
I call it a flash tank.
Yeah.
It's a sump.
Oh yeah, so it's breaking now, I can hear it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Self-leveling sucker there. That's awesome.
You have to pull air in 2 or 3 times, then you hear an enormous burst of air down here and an echo, and then it stops.
What's getting me is how efficient this is. So there's one pump down there in what you call the flash. We would call it a sump in an indoor aquarium.
It's commonly called a sump. It's just because it takes on so much volume so fast. I call it my fly stand.
Oh, I got it. So one pump in the sump, and then the rest is just plumbed to self-level and keep going. And then for heat, you've got, you know, your little self-heating thing we talked about already.
Yep.
So you could run this for no dollars. I mean, or, you know, a few bucks.
Especially if I had a large solar panel array, I could run heaters. Wind turbine hybrid systems often use a water heater as a dump to get rid of excess power. That could be run into the water as well. I do have a heater running that I built for probably, I don't know, this controller was like $8 on eBay. And I got a high stainless steel water heater element and plumbed it into a piece of PVC that's hidden up in the back on this thing.
Alright.
So I've got a high limit and a low limit. It just stops working at the high limit, and once it gets down to the low limit, then it starts working again. It's actually heating right now. I've got it set pretty slim, 84 on, 85 off, something like that.
I mean, it's super warm in here right now, even with the door open.
Yeah, it's over 70 degrees. And what are we, 55 outside
today? Something like that, yeah.
So I've got the thermal mass, there's barrels all along the back wall, and this one I was going to get a couple more barrels, maybe lay one on its side just for more thermal mass.
Just so the water will dissipate the heat slower.
Absolutely. And then I threw this in here too. I can do my potted stuff. I've got hangers on it so that I can overwinter my outside hanging pots. Just a little something. But I eventually want to do some NTF tubes over here. It's a 4-inch pipe that sits level and has holes drilled in the side of it. Your plants sit right in those holes, and you trickle a very small stream of water through.
Oh yeah.
And that would just feed from up here through a 1/4 inch, a 1/2 inch line, and gravity drain amongst them, and then drain back into the sump.
Yeah.
Constant flow.
Yeah. Cool.
So it would basically just add more thermal mass to the place.
Well, I'm glad Pistol's in Sheridan because he's like DIY master. And when I was building my fish room, I'd often call him and be like, "All right, Pistol, I've got this problem. What do I do?" Oh, there it is. So that's the that's where we drain out of. So it's a good 8 inches, 10 inches that it drains each time it goes, something like that. What is that? That's my hand right there.
It drains to the bottom of this. So yeah, I'd say so.
Cool. So the plants are just kind of, water comes up, they get wet, and then it goes down, and water comes up and down, and so it's just constantly damp down there.
So
I'll stick my finger in here just for fun. If that's okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can feel it. Just an inch down, I can feel
inch and a
the
half
dampness.
So like these lettuces, I just broadcast them over the grow bed, and that was what came up out of a
threw some seeds in.
That's not really that fun because you just end up with seeds growing everywhere.
Oh, the boss is here. You want to be on video? Okay, then I won't video the boss.
Like these, these radishes are only what, 4 or 5 days old. I did those with seed tape because it's so darn easy.
I don't even know what that is.
Well, it's a paper towel tape that has the seeds already printed in
and you just throw down, they grow in a line, nice and pretty.
I used this level and rolled the rock back like you would a screed board with concrete, and laid the tape in there and then pushed the rock back over it. 2 days later I had seedlings popping up all over the place. There's sparkle radishes, black seeded Simpsons, and butter crunch back here.
This is awesome. Yeah, I really like it.
Celeries, this one had no roots. I just pulled off the outside stalks that we were going to eat and left the little short
and stuck it in
with
there?
the leaves and jammed it in there. It wilted the first day and then up it came. The pineapple, this one I ripped right out of the top of a fresh
Pineapples in Wyoming. That's blowing my mind, man.
I don't know if they're a good idea in the greenhouse or not. They get pretty big.
Yeah.
This one was potted in the house for 2 years and it was gigantic. The missus finally told me it had to go. And this is a clone of a clone. Unfortunately, it's an indeterminate yellow pear tomato, so it will just overgrow. But it's already blooming. It's only been in here a couple of 3 weeks.
I've got a tomato cage I'm not using if you end up needing one.
Okay.
Just saying.
I'm not sure what these tomatoes are. These actually popped up. Well, there's one plant that popped up in one of my grow beds on my aquarium in the house. I just snapped it in half and jammed it in, and
it's
away
rooted.
they went. Yeah. Cool. So stuff recovers really quickly. The only time I've seen it really falter is if you don't have any water in here for a long period of time. You get too much air and the roots dry out.
Yeah, yeah.
If you pull them out of the soil, out of the grow bed, they need to go into a bucket of water or something for transplant, because they will perish pretty quick. They don't like to dry out.
Yeah.
As where you pull them out of dirt, they can lay there on the ground for a while.
Because they're caked with dirt.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I think this is awesome. So the boss is behind me. The boss is, of course, Pistol's wife, Melinda, but we won't show you the boss. She'll just be a mysterious voice that chimes in every now and then, telling us what to do and how to do it. But yeah, it is super cool. Well, I'm going to pop up there and look at the fish, because everyone here will be anxious. Oh yeah, check them all out. So this is the fertilizer source.
Yep.
So these are, what kind of tilapia did you say?
White Nile tilapia.
And where did you source those? eBay or something?
I can't remember. Maybe tilapiasource.com or something like that.
Oh, this is too good. I gotta. Could I see that can of food?
Sure.
So this is what Pistol's feeding these tilapia.
One of the many things I'm feeding.
Yeah, one of the things. But today he just happened to grab this. LR Bretts, this is for you. Tetracolor granules. Isn't that what you use? I think so. Anyway, I just thought that was funny, because LR Bretts is constantly talking about that food and how much you like. It's all. So LR Bretts is this YouTuber that has his house basically full of tanks. He's got, I don't know how many hundreds of tanks in all his rooms, and that's the only thing he feeds. Is Tetracolor, either granules or flakes. I can't remember, but yeah. Oh, you got an auto feeder going.
There's 3 auto feeders feeding for a total of 8 times a day.
Cool. And what is the mix of food you use? Do they like more protein, or do they like vegetable? They eat anything, right?
Yeah, they eat anything. I've got a blend of a tremendous amount of fat and protein.
To grow?
Yeah.
For quick growth?
Yeah, for quick growth. The idea is to harvest them as soon as possible. I've read in like China, they'll plant their rice paddies and put in the tilapia with them, and when they're ready to harvest the rice, the tilapia are also ready for harvest. So they're 3.5 pounds at, what, 9 months.
Yeah.
And I got these, they were a quarter this size. They have grown nicely in the last, how long have they been in here? 3 weeks? A month? I don't remember when it got.
It's been a month.
No, it hasn't been a month. So they've quadrupled in size.
So you'll just put them in your freezer, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. So tilapia is a food that I won't eat from the grocery store, but I would totally eat these. Just because I've seen that Tim Rowe video about how they grow them and they feed them manure and stuff and sewage basically, and I'm just like, oh, I can't do that. But this is nice. This I would totally eat this, because that looks nice and clean, and I know what they're Tetracolor granules.
Yeah. They also get Katie and Wardley brand koi food ground up in there. They'll get, I'll give a little supplement to the goldfish once in a while, kind of keep their digestive system kind of lined out a little bit. And the tilapia will eat that right up. They also get mysis shrimp and bloodworms, all kinds of
the good
variety. Yeah, just keep them in a good blend. They probably eat better than our fish in the house.
Yeah. Yeah, they're lively little guys. Look at them.
Yeah.
They're kind of beautiful, actually.
Yeah.
Iridescence on the dorsal and some nice color on the caudal fin. They almost look like a red dragon peacock, but you know, without so much red.
Right.
I wonder if when they get older, they might get more though. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Or is this about?
They get real deep, like a sunfish.
Yeah.
From the pictures that I've seen.
Yeah. So this is the first go with them, right? So
yes.
we're figuring it out as we go.
Never been a real big cichlid fan. I've got.
Unless you're gonna eat them.
Yeah, exactly. I've got a Hero Severum in the house. It's my old buddy. My friend Lauren gave him to me, and I love that. This Hero Severum is not your typical cichlid.
Yeah. So Lauren, I have a story about Lauren. So Lauren's a local fish geek here with us in Sheridan, Wyoming. And I bought this 125-gallon aquarium from another fish geek in Sheridan, Wyoming, because that's how we do. And this thing's heavy, like super heavy. And my fish room's downstairs, as you know, in the basement. And so I got like 6 guys together to like help me move this thing down into the basement. Oh no, boss, you're on camera. Oops, there she is. That's the boss. And Pistol was there, and a couple other fish geeks were there to help move this thing. And it was super heavy, and we're all straining Lauren's like, he walks up and he's like, whatever, and he picks it up and carries it down the stairs, basically. I mean, this guy is so strong. You want to be on Lauren's good side.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to take a look up here too. So this is the filter system. Or what do you call this tank up here?
A swirl filter.
The swirl filter, yeah. Cool. All right.
It's just kind of some floss in a bucket there that's
takes out
perforated
particulates.
Real well. And there's a hole out the bottom. So the pipe is turned with a 90 to swirl inside of the bucket, and then the water falls out the bottom in particles. The particles stay in the bottom, and the particle-free water rises to the top and overflows out that 2-inch tube.
Yeah, cool. Well, cool.
The only other little addition that I've got is like this dwarf rose. I kept a
Oh yeah, 50% water
so that
change.
I can just fill it with, water any of my potted plants.
Well, let's talk about water changes. Do you do them in here? Because the plants take care of it.
Yep, the plants are taking care of it real well so far.
So you just have to change the filter every now and then, and you're good.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I'll just draw some. And that's one of the only water changes, I suppose. I'll draw some off to rinse that biofilter out, and put it back in. I haven't had one foul yet. The goldfish have been in there a month and a half or 2 months, and I don't enjoy feeling the remainder.
Now, what kind of auto feeders are you using?
The Penplax double daily 2s.
Okay.
And I don't remember what the current is the closest one to you.
It says,
it's a fully digital
oh yeah.
And it'll feed 4 times a day. I think you can even program it to do more than that. I've never had an owner's manual for it. It just turned up in a box that was given to me.
Yeah.
So
passing stuff around the Sheridan Fish Geeks. Yep.
Absolutely.
And how many times a day do you feed?
Between 4 off of the current and doubles off of the other 2, it gets 8 times a day they're fed.
Oh, okay, so it's a constant stream.
Yeah. So the daily doubles are 12 hours apart, offset from each other, and the current is like 7, 11, 3, and 6 or something like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, this is awesome. Thanks for letting me video this.
Absolutely.
This is cool. Well, Pistol, thanks again for letting us take a look at your aquaponics setup. I thought it was pretty cool. I'm especially impressed with how you can heat that sucker in Wyoming in the winter with such low energy consumption. I just think that's awesome. But anyway, hope everyone enjoyed that. If you have any comments or if you have any comments or questions, please post them down below, and we can get a geek out fishy discussion going. Anyway, thanks guys. Have a good one.